Howdy there. Guess what time it is? It's time for another episode of the DogTripper. And this time we're going to meet up with a little buckaroo named Scotty. Some of you may be asking, why are we here in the middle of Round Rock? Well, Scotty knows some of the history here, so he wanted to share it. But first, a little about this cowpoke. He's not just a handsome fellow, he's also quite smart. He has mastered the art of sit, stay, down, place, touch, and many other commands are in his holster. He is also quite knowledgeable in residential restraint, or to the layman, he's house trained. So back to what Scotty wanted to tell us. Well, it happened back in 1876. Texas was a much different place than it is now. There was lawlessness and desperados roamed the range. One of them was an outlaw who had robbed trains, stagecoach, and was on his way to rob a bank in Round Rock, Texas. Sam Bass was his name, and he rode into town to scope out the Round Rock Bank. Well, as Scotty tells it, a deputy noticed the stranger and came over to have a word with him. Back in those days, it was frowned upon to be packing a pistol while you were shopping. So, when the deputy came over to tell him about the law, Sam pulled out a gun and shot the deputy down. After a gun battle, Sam Bass rode out of town, mortally wounded with a bullet in his belly. And like the deputy, Scotty is a protector. But he can be a bit, let's say, overly protective. He needs to have one owner who doesn't have a lot of visitors. He gets along with other cowhands, such as dogs his size, but he doesn't appreciate larger dogs. He has even gotten along with cats and can even speak their language. No, not really. If you live alone and need a champion, Scotty is your cowboy. But enough with the history lesson. This little pooch is ready to chow down. So he's off to a locally dog-friendly chuck wagon. Here in the middle of downtown is a beer garden where Scotty can stretch out and still remain socially distant. He's not worried about catching anything. He just doesn't trust too many strangers. Can you blame him? Scotty was hungry, so he ordered up a slider with loads of meat and chewy cheese. And those chips aren't half bad either. Scotty's even considering a trip to get some Round Rock donuts. They are popular, so he knows it's best to plan to wait on an order since they are a local favorite. Well, partner, as the sun is setting, another DogTripper adventure is over. Scotty has to mosey back to the Williamson County Shelter, back to his bunk, where he can make rancho and dream about riding the range with that one special owner. Vaya con Dios, little doggy. And if you are looking for an addition to the family, check out the Wilco Shelter. They have lots of adoptable dogs and non-dogs. If you're not sure what you want to adopt, be a fosterer. This helps to socialize them as well as keep the number of animals down at the shelter. And if everything works out, you can easily turn that pet into a new family addition. Check out the website weekly and make an appointment to meet your new best friend.